Yeah. Hi.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. All right, so it's the new year.
Yeah.
And you know what? We thought, what would be the best thing to show on a live today? And honestly, the greatest thing I think that we can show you and share with you is meal planning and why we do it and why we love it, because there are so many people out there that are struggling to get dinner on the table, and we get it. We feel you. Okay? Hi, guys.
Hi.
Say hello when you're on.
The hardest part about dinner is trying to figure out what to cook.
Right.
And that's the reason I came up with the meal plan that I did almost 40 years ago, because I needed to make it easy. And so I created these theme nights. And I think, Lizzie, once people understand how we're doing our meal plan, I think they'll love it.
Yeah, the thing about meal planning is actually the hardest part, like she said, is deciding what to make. Once you have that figured out, it's so easy, and dinner time actually can become enjoyable. But we'll talk about, because a lot of them want to know, we need fast food, meals. When we're trying to get our kids out the door, we get it. She did this, she raised 7 kids. I'm in the thick of it, raising kids right now. I was literally up all night last night. So sorry this was like touch and go if we were doing a live, but we'll tell you all of our tips and tricks and ask the questions along
As
the
we
way.
go along.
Yeah.
So in our books.
Hello from Michigan.
Yay, hi Michigan. I love Michigan. In our
Michigan's great.
books, we explain all of this, but it's also our philosophy about family and dinner time is going to be posted as well. We're writing it all up. We're going to get it on the internet so you'll be able to read about it. But you can also go to our 2 books. Either one explains how to do the meal plan, everything about it inside. But we have the pathway by which you can accomplish dinner time. And the what and the how might be the hardest part.
Okay, there were some comments that we were delayed on the comments. Sorry, they are now coming in.
Oh gosh, okay, good.
Okay, love you girls, love you more. Wait, really fast. I haven't planned my meals. It's been a rough day. We get that. Okay, so keep going, Mom. Start
we get
over.
that. So the how and so the what and the how might be the hardest part about dinner. And I'm going to refer to my notes on occasion just because there's so much to talk about, and we want to do this fast because we're known to not do anything fast. So we want to get through this, but we want to motivate you. That's the reason we're here. That's the reason we're even doing this Food Nanny Instagram.
Right.
Is to help motivate you to get dinner on the table for your family.
Right.
That's the whole reason we're here. It's not about us. We're sort of the messengers. We're sort of your cheerleaders. We're about you and what's going on in your life. But we also want you to know that probably, it was for me, the most fulfilling thing that I ever did while raising all of those kids, those 7 children, was putting a consistent dinner time on the table. And why? It was because once you got the dinner on the table and everybody was looking each other in the eye and eating something good and hot, I don't know, it just brought our family together and we bonded.
Yeah.
And that was on a daily basis. And I think that's why it was the most fulfilling thing I ever did, because I took the time to meal plan and I took the time to put nutritional meals on the table, not gourmet meals, just super easy, some of them a little bit harder. It's okay if some take more than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, some really yummy meals take more than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's okay too.
Sometimes you honestly get what you put in, but I agree, there's so many delicious meals. Most of our recipes I feel like don't take much time. That's why I love her recipes. I still use it today. And exactly what you just said, that's the reason that I wanted to start the Instagram back up too, is because when she came back out and so many different people still feel like dinner time is such a hard part. She raised her kids so many years ago, but the still challenges of meal planning and dinner time, it still is the same. It hasn't changed. And so I said, Mom, your messages, sorry, we've got the baby. We've got the baby right here. He's not feeling well, but we're going to be okay. But what I'm trying to say is that what was I trying to say? I'm losing my train of thought. It's the same problems today as it was for you, as it was for yesterday. And so that's where I'm like, Mom, your message never ever dies. And this is why everybody needs to learn how to do it, because it's going to help simplify your life, and it will be rewarding, and you will see it in your kids, in your family. And for me to take away from my childhood, it's something I still remember, and that's why I want to do it for my family. I don't forget the memories and the bonding.
You remember coming to the table, Lizzie, when you were a little girl, and I remember Lizzie saying, I just can't wait for dinner because I can't wait to talk to all the older kids, and I can't wait to hear their stories from school. Now, Lizzie was 16 years younger than the oldest, and so she was listening to all the friend problems, all the boy and girlfriend problems, and she couldn't wait to get to the table because that's where she got caught up on life with her brothers and sisters.
That was drama at the dinner table. I love it.
But the reason, one of the biggest reasons that we want you to understand today is why. Why do we do the dinner? Well, there's a reason right there. Because we get together as family, we help solve problems, we help each other sort out and talk over the day that we've been through, that we've just experienced.
Right.
It's tough at school, it's hard with friends.
And look, guess what? Your family will be your biggest cheerleader for the rest of your life. You will have issues. It's like my sisters, my mom, people think we have the greatest relationship. We do. We have a fabulous relationship. But is it perfect? No. Well, I'll be all the time, Mom,
stop this, stop that.
And that's what, we've met some fannies out there, our fans, and our friends, our followers out there, and they said, what's funny about you guys is that you show that it's real. This isn't fake. Everything we're trying to teach you is something that you can actually do in your home. I don't want you to ever feel like, oh no, this is overwhelming, because social media can totally be that way. I'm all over social media. I follow a lot of different people that want you to work out so many times a week. They want you to eat, this healthiness and whatever. But it honestly, I don't know how you feel. It might just be me, but it can get you a little discouraged, and you feel like maybe you're not good enough, and you feel like I can't do this, and I can't even work out that much or whatever. So what we're trying to say is, look, if you can just start making a goal of making dinner time a priority and cooking at least 3 nights a week, that's it. You're gonna see a difference. And tell them the study.
That's gonna be our challenge to you this year.
Yeah.
Starting today, we're gonna challenge everybody on our Food Nanny Instagram to cook at least 3 times a week. Studies have proven if you cook 3 nights a week, this is what you will find within your own family. You will find that your children will have better self-esteem. They'll have better grades in school. They're going to be more likely to confide in their parents. You'll have less obesity, less anorexic. We'll have better nutrition, better language and literacy. You'll be able to learn to communicate better with your family. And what I'm adding to this little study that has been done is we need somewhere along the line to teach our children table manners.
Yeah.
And this is something that is not happening, are the table manners that need to be taught.
Yeah.
I know that around the country there are certain little communities that offer a little course for their kids where they can go and learn table manners and learn how to treat a woman, or when you go on a date, a boy learns how to treat a girl when he dates her, vice versa. There are courses that are offered in this, little prep courses, and those are great. But something that needs to be happening at home are table manners and how to set a proper table. Not perfect, but just where does the fork really go, and where does the knife go, and where does the spoon go, and where does the cup go? So,
but not only table manners, cleaning it up.
Yes.
I feel like kids nowadays are just becoming so lazy. I don't know if it's just my kids.
Take your plate to the sink.
Would you help me clean up?
Yes.
I think that's an important thing as well.
And get our kids more involved in cooking.
Right.
If you have older children, 11 and older, they can take a night.
Oh,
they can be in charge of the meal. Someone has to be in charge.
And they take pride in that. They
yeah,
take pride in that.
They do. Someone has to be in charge of the meal plan, and women, we still own it. You don't have to do all of the cooking. If you have a husband, if you have someone else living in the home, you can delegate. Or you can delegate to children 11 years old and up. They can be trusted at the stove and cooking. So,
and everybody that we talk to, it doesn't matter what their circumstances, if the mom's working full time and the husband maybe is the stay-at-home type mom, you know, he's the stay-at-home dad, or maybe you're both working, whatever situation it is, I feel like she has really gone in. I mean, she did a show that went into people's homes and rescued dinner, for crying out loud. And every home you went into, it didn't matter what it was, there's a way to figure it out. It doesn't matter if you are so busy that you feel like, I've got 5 kids, I don't care how many kids, how many activities, who's working, who's not, it can be made a priority. And we can help you because every suggestion we have can help.
Yes.
There's a couple of people that are asking a couple questions though. Hello from Germany, Mom.
Oh, hi, Germany. Oh.
She lived there, you know, for a while, if you didn't know that.
So great.
I have been following your meal plan for over 5 years, and it has been the greatest gift to my family. Facebook, we can't see all of your comments, but that's amazing.
Wow,
How
thank
can I
you.
buy a 25-pound bag? Can you just message us after this? Okay. I started cooking 4 to 5 days a week. I can tell a difference. My daughter loves it. We all get to talk and catch up. Quality time. I love it. I agree. I feel it is so important to sit down as a family at dinner time. We already started this months ago with our 10-month-old. That's amazing.
Brilliant.
Yes, I can cook so my husband and daughter help clean up. Exactly. You
Love
just
that.
delegate it and figure out how it fits for your family, but we just know the importance of it. Okay, continue.
I believe that every child deserves a place to be at dinner. And that was my number one goal when I really started, was I really believe that. I believe that children are under so much stress, especially nowadays, and I believe that they need a place that they can come home at the end of the day and gather with their loved ones, whether it's one person, whether it's one-on-one with the caregiver. It doesn't matter. They deserve to take a break. We all deserve to take a break. Dinner time is protection and restoration. And what restoration means, it means taking a break. It means healing. It means communicating. And this is what we deserve. As human beings, we deserve this every single day. And we deserve not only to have a decent meal at the end of the day, we deserve to make a place setting that is worthy of that little meal. It doesn't.
And you get the question a lot is, what if I'm the only person too, and you still?
If you're cooking for yourself, even you deserve a meaningful dinner time. You can sit down with a book. You can sit down without a book.
You need to unwind, and
Yes.
you need to just be able to breathe for a second and not think of, like you said, about all the worldly, all the other crazy stuff. And who doesn't deserve a good meal? Who doesn't deserve one?
And who doesn't deserve that more than our family? It's the ones that we're the nurturers to, and the ones that we're in charge of. These are some of my points that I believe will help you. Husbands work harder. It's been known that husbands will work harder if they know they're coming home to a good meal and that the meal is waiting for them. Mothers who work have reported less stress and strain if they're able to make it home for dinner. And meal planning is key. If they know what they're fixing when they get home, or if they've already called ahead and said, hey, get started, put the baked potatoes in the oven, or whatever it is, moms can deal with their work and what they need to do, because there are many of us who do work outside of the home. And bless all of you who do. Bless all of us who do stay home, because sometimes it's harder to stay home, believe it or not. I know, because I've done both. And so sometimes it's tough either way. And so making a meal plan will help us all. Dinner time can keep an active, full life in balance. Cook for who is home. Cook and they will come home. 4 or 5 p.m. is too late to get worried about what you're having for dinner. This is why our meal plan works perfectly. And Food Nanny says cook 5 nights a week. We're challenging you to cook 3 this year.
Right.
This is going to be our challenge today, is to start cooking 3 if you're not doing any. But I say to cook 5 and take 2 days off. Either have leftovers, order in, or go out. We as Americans love our fast food. We have our special restaurants, the ones that we can afford. And don't forget, if you're on a budget, this is going to save you.
Yeah, this is exactly what's going to save you. That's a big question that we continually get is, well, how are you really saving money if you're making this many delicious meals all the time? And it's like, are you kidding me? This is exactly the reason why you are going to save money. I love my mom's recipes because I tell you this all the time, but you can intertwine any recipes. It's not like we don't ever use recipes that are not in the cookbooks. We've shown you that. We've proven to you that we're
constantly trying new things.
We are constantly trying new things. We love to eat new things. We love to try whatever. But what it is it's like, my mom really did hit home making recipes that are really ingredients that you already are using in your home. That's the beauty of it. And when you meal plan, you actually save money. And every single person that starts doing it, they start to see, okay, I actually believe you because you're saving so much money. You're not running to the grocery store all the time. I will admit that I'm not perfect. I have run to the grocery store a couple of times on a whim, and I'm like, oh no, I don't have the right thing, or I need to grab this or that. You cannot walk out of the grocery store, I don't care who you are, for at least $50. I don't understand. I can't come out without spending $50. And you look at what you just spent and what you have nothing. You have nothing to create a meal. And I'm like, what just happened to me? But it's crazy when you meal plan.
Yep.
I'm like, I can spend for 2 weeks up to $125, really, for the meal, for all the meals, for my 5 meals or whatever.
What we're trying to do is keep out of the store. We're trying to make one main shopping.
I get it, but I'm saying we're not perfect.
Right.
And I do sometimes have to do that, but then you realize, what in the world? Oh, let me give this example really fast too. After I had my 4th baby, I was drowning. I will admit, I was drowning with 4 kids. And I wasn't meal planning again. I wasn't back into it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm drowning. I just had my 4th baby. I'm kind of losing it. And I started noticing how much more money I was spending, and it was going out the door. I felt like my money was tight, and I didn't understand what was going on. We were still eating, but it wasn't exactly the way I normally meal plan. And it literally wasn't even until I finally was like, hello, I've got to start my meal planning again and being prepared and having the food in the house and the whole thing, that I started saving my money back up again.
Yeah, and it's stress-free, Lizzie.
It took all the stress, and I'm not exaggerating. That's exactly what happened to me.
It liberates you when you go to the grocery store with your grocery list and make one main grocery store visit in 2 weeks. You'll have to go back for milk or a tomato, maybe a fresh vegetable. But it's going to save on the budget. You're going to be liberated. You're going to be stress-free because your meal plan is going to be hanging up somewhere. Everybody can see it. You know what you're having today, tomorrow, the next day, and all of the ingredients are in the house. It's amazing what happens.
Right.
So we're challenging you to cook 3 nights a week. A meal is worth being hungry for. Now, have you ever heard that statement? A meal is worth being hungry for. It's so true. Now, how do we do that? Okay, so we have to be careful how we eat throughout the day in order to put this meal on the table for our family. Whether you're all prepared, you've got the food in the house, the whole thing. If you're not hungry to cook, it's not going to happen, and you're not going to be excited about it. So how do we eat throughout the day? Basically, we're eating 3 meals. Is what we're doing.
Well, basically, yes, I eat 3 meals. Yes.
And we're not grazing. If we graze, what I have found over the last 48 years, if we graze, we're never hungry at a particular mealtime. Mm-hmm. And you also take in way too many calories. So if I'm eating, this is sort of what I think both of us do. If I'm eating around 7 a.m. my breakfast, and then I'm eating again at noon, and then I'm having a snack in the afternoon, and then I'm eating dinner between 5:30 and 6:30 at night. So that's basically what I'm doing during the day.
Yeah.
But at noon, we can't eat too much, because if we do, we're full. We're not ready to cook that meal, and you're not even hungry until 8 o'clock at night. And that's when you get out the cereal, you get out whatever's left over in the fridge to eat. And this is
And the thing about doing that, if you continually start to do that, your family will never know when you're really going to have a meal on the table for them. And that's when she always talks about husbands then. They don't know if they're coming home for a meal. So they're like, okay, we're going out for lunch. We'll eat a massive lunch. Or they grab dinner on the way home. I've heard of a lot of husbands that do that because they don't know what they're coming home to. So the thing about it is you've got to make it a family goal that you're all going to be eating together, and they know that dinner really will be on the table, because that really is key. It's key for your kids. I don't care what age too. When my little kids walk out the door, it's even funny. I'm starting to see that they're doing the things that I used to do. Hey mom, what's for dinner tonight? And we used to have a little 2-week meal plan that was up on our fridge. I don't do that anymore. And so many have asked you.
I guess it ruins the decor now.
Yeah, it kind of does. But a lot of people have asked you to do the board that you do on your TV show.
I know.
Because it's really rewarding and it's fun for the kids, even me, to be reminded, oh yeah, what am I having for tonight? Okay, well, I know I'm not going to eat this for lunch, or I'm not going to overeat because I'm eating this tonight because I want to eat and enjoy it. And that's where it all comes in. Dinner time is a huge deal for us, which seems really funny, but we really look forward to that meal. Like, I dream about it.
I dream about the food too, but what is more important than the food is the conversation. And so
I'm dreaming about the food too.
So we're dreaming about it all, but why does this all come together to be such an important part of your day? I believe the most important part is that you're gathering together at the end of the day. Everybody's home safe. Everybody needs something nutritionally sound to go into their tummy before we go to bed. And the thing is, Lizzie, do you know that 1 in 4 Americans,
go to bed
little
hungry?
Kids, don't know where their next meal is coming from.
Yeah.
They're not sure if they've got to go to a neighbor, or they're not sure where they're actually going to get a meal for dinner.
No, it's
and
horrible.
That's why there are too many children, 1 in 4, I'm glad it's not higher, that are scrounging for something to eat at night. Many of them are having cereal. We talk about chicken nuggets. We talk about mac and cheese. We talk about sandwiches every night. We talk about eggs every night. Those are better than nothing. That's for sure. But what we're trying to ingrain in our followers is that there is a rhyme and a reason to putting dinner on the table that includes vegetables and something green every night. Do we have questions?
Let's not forget to turn off the TV and actually sit at the table together. So many of my generation just sit in the front of the TV. I know.
So this is so important to our meal plan.
And turn off the phones. Put the phones away.
Number 1, we say gather together at the dinner table with good food and good conversation. That doesn't mean some at the counter, some at the TV, and some in their bedroom. That means everybody coming to the dinner table, facing their siblings, facing their parents, looking them in the eye, so that you can grow up together, so that we can share our passion together about whatever it is we're passionate about.
Look at this too. Since I became I think she said a fanny, I cook daily and we save a lot of money and my weight never changes. I love you ladies.
It's because of the variety of food, and it's because of portion control, which you're going to push your plate back when you're satisfied, and it's key. Dinner time is the most natural setting for your family to bond on a daily basis. And that's what we were talking about. Now, eating out is great. We all love it. But be aware that when you eat out, all the focus is on the restaurant.
Yeah.
And not on the family. And that's why
when you're with little kids, that is not fun.
No.
I will tell you that.
No, it isn't. And
I can't do that all the time.
that's why we want to come home when we still have to get up, no matter how great we're dining or how cozy the restaurant is. At some point, we still have to get up and go home. When we could have been creating that atmosphere at home. It's great to go out, but let's try to make it more special when we do.
Let me just read this one too. Meal planning has changed my life and my pocketbook. Thank you for your free meal plans. Like you say, it not only changes you by lowering stress, but changes the relationship with your family.
That's so good. Let's talk nutrition. 3 out of 4 adults are not getting the daily requirement of fruits or vegetables, okay? We mentioned the young kids. 1 in 4 that really don't know where their dinner is coming from. But we as Americans, as adults, are not getting our daily required fruits and vegetables. This is another reason we want to meal plan. This is another reason we want to put 1 to 2 vegetables on the plate. We get our kids involved. Hey, what vegetables should mom write down for the meal plan? What vegetables do you guys want to try?
Right.
What would you like to eat? Get
Right.
your children involved when you create your meal plan. Have them choose a night. They might not like the meatloaf one night, but say, hey, you're going to have chicken tacos, the one that you love, so you can try the meatloaf. They need to try everything that's on the plate, but they don't need to eat everything that's on the plate. But that doesn't mean that they get up from the table and make a sandwich. No. Because what you're putting on the table, moms, you are already knowing who likes what and who doesn't like what. So there's going to be a vegetable everyone likes.
Right.
There's going to be a side that everyone likes. There's going to be a meat or not if it's a meatless meal that everyone likes. So it's up to mom too to make sure that there's something that night that they're going to be able to fill up on. Maybe a French baguette that they'll love to go with the meat or the mashed potatoes or the rice or the salad or the vegetables. Okay? So Food Nanny says make a 2-week meal plan using our theme nights. Let's just talk for a minute about our theme nights and why they make it so easy. Monday, comfort food night. Who doesn't like comfort food? This was a night that everybody had an idea about cooking. What's your favorite comfort food, Lizzie? What's one of them?
There's so many. I love the white chili. I love the biscuits and gravy. I love the meatloaf. I
love the
meatloaf
beef
and
stroganoff.
I love the beef
I love
stroganoff.
the mac and cheese.
There's
I love the
I love
roasted
it all.
chicken. There's so many. We have at least 40 of those recipes for you on every single night. Tuesday is Italian night, and that doesn't mean pizza on Tuesday because Friday is pizza. So Tuesday's Italian night, and that's mostly pasta. If say you've had homemade mac and cheese on comfort food night, then you sure wouldn't have the pastas. You might have our piccata, chicken piccata, our marsala, our green beans with red potatoes and sausage. You might do something like that. But Food Nanny says eat pasta once a week. You can do that. There's all these diets out there telling you what you can eat and what you can't eat. I say you can eat it all in a variety. That's what we all love and crave. That's what we all want to do, and we can do it in portion control.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, talking about well, let's finish. Wednesday, fish meatless or breakfast night. This is where you're going to save a lot of money. One night, if you have a wonderful meal with fish, with salmon or halibut or tilapia, whatever you choose, the next week you can have breakfast, which costs
Nothing. And it's so easy. The reason I love the theme nights is because, like all the reasons that you obviously already said, but every night, it's never a question of what it is. Even if we're going out, we know exactly what we're going to be eating. Because even when you go out to eat, don't you feel like people will disagree? What do you want? What do you feel like? What's this? And for us, it's more simple
It's so
because
easy.
it's like, well, it's Italian night, so we need to be going and eating Italian. So that's the thing about it. I just love it. It never changes.
I met Brenda last night and I said, let's do Mexican. Oh yes, it's Mexican. I'm craving Mexican. I don't want to do Italian. So we're definitely keeping to it, and I know that's part of your health. and the variety of food that you're getting. Mexican night is also a very nutritious night. Pizza night can be another night. Before, when I was raising my children, it was, oh, pizza, that's so terrible for you. No, there's so many ways, and we tell you and show you along the way all the wonderful ways to make homemade pizza.
Look, the thing is that diets honestly don't work. I'm going to tell you that again too. I know we talk about this a lot, but they really do not work long term. I have too many friends, too many people that I know that go on these crazy diets that, yeah, they lose weight. They'll lose about 15, 20 pounds and they're looking good. But guess what? They start craving real food. They want to enjoy life again. And what happens? They put the weight on again right away. So the thing is that if you feel like you're trying it, because I know that maybe some of your resolutions is, I want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to maybe lose some weight. I know that some maybe think, there's no way, your recipes seem a little fat, like they seem fattening, there's no way you're really eating that. And it's like, no, what you see is what you get. We're telling you the honest truth, okay? And the thing about it is it's like, we want you to enjoy it because we're enjoying it. And what we're trying to tell you is these fad diets, they just don't work long term. If you're really trying to lose some weight, we've told you before, we'll cut back on sweets because I crave a sweet every single day. So if I feel like I'm putting on a few pounds, I'll be like, okay, I need to cut it down a little bit. I'm eating 2 cookies after lunchtime. I need to not eat so many cookies. Or we really do have a bread rule, which some are really shocked by this. She's always raised me on, you can only have bread twice a day. And it's an interesting rule. But it actually is pretty good. If you're eating bread for breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
it's too much.
It really is too much. Think about that. Because, and I'm sorry, and this is talking about a bagel, a piece of toast, and then you're having a sandwich, and then for dinner, you're making our French baguettes, or you're making our Italian bread, or whatever. It really is too much, so I've always tried to stick to that rule. But the 2 things that she always has taught me to cut out if I need to try to lose a little bit is sugar and bread. But the beauty about that is you can then bring it back in, and it's not going to put on the weight if you do it in all moderation. And that's what is a beauty.
And I think our Kamut bread is even more as far as cutting back on gluten, because Kamut actually has less gluten than any other grain to begin with. And so this is amazing. This is amazing to see our health even better than it was before. But that is a good rule. So cook 5 nights a week, but plan for 7 just in case, because you never know if you have the money to go out. You never know if somebody's going to get sick, or you never know if you feel like going out. So I always plan for 7. Okay, our rules are don't eat red meat back to back. The reason why, on a consistent basis, that is. The reason why, it doesn't move through us as good as other things do. And we don't want to get stopped up eating too much red meat. I know people that are eating red meat every single night. No, that is not good for you. So that's a Food Nanny rule. As you make your meal plan, do not plan red meat meals back to back. Eat no meat at all. Eat meatless meals at least 2 times a week. Super easy to do. Throughout both of our books, we have meatless soups. We have meatless sauces. There's so many meatless meals, many, many meatless meals. Easy to do. Do it for your health. Eat fish at least once a week, preferably 2. If you hate fish, then include more meatless meals. Plan 2 to 3 vegetables with each meal. Try to introduce new ones to your family as young as you possibly can, then they'll grow up eating them. Eat fresh fruit or bottled fruit on a consistent basis. Incorporate whole grains. This is what we're going to talk about next. Most of all, practice portion control. Teach your kids where their food comes from. Grow a garden when you can. Get some chickens. Serve your own fresh eggs. And consume more Kamut, fleur de sel, and olive oil. Those are probably our 3 biggest food groups. So what I wanted to talk to you about for just a minute is when we're doing our meal plan and when we're eating, we're trying to incorporate good fruits, good vegetables, good eating habits. And we were for years and years. About 8 years ago, I discovered Ancient Grains. And this is where our new Ancient Grain Kamut comes in. About 8 years ago, I was working with Ancient Grains, mostly with spelt, because the big thing was spelt. Everybody was going to spelt. It was better for
I don't
you
like it.
nutritionally. That's what they were saying. It was more, less calories. Oh my goodness. I went to different health food stores and bought whole grain spelt, ground it up, started experimenting with so many recipes. I just didn't like the taste of spelt. It was too grainy. It wasn't good. Okay, I experimented with other ancient grains like einkorn, tough is one, and then I bought the kamut. When I first saw the kamut, it was the most impressive grain I had ever seen. It was the most beautiful color. It was a buttery color, and the longest grain. It was so beautiful just to look at. And I couldn't wait to start experimenting with it. I didn't know anyone who was. I was in Whole Foods and I saw it in their bulk department with their grain. And I was in Whole Foods and I bought a bag. And I took it home. I didn't really begin experimenting with it until about 4 years ago. I really got into it. But it was the grain that intrigued me first. Without knowing anything, I made bread. And I could not believe the taste. I could not believe the texture, the taste. I could not believe how I felt. I said, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And then I was in Italy, and I discovered that they were making a lot of their pizza dough out of 100% kamut. And I discovered that there was a white kamut, which I didn't know about. I knew the whole grain, and it was so much more, it was, the taste was so superior to regular whole wheat. We liked whole wheat, it was fine, but we didn't love it. And the taste was so superior to regular whole wheat that I was blown away. But then I discovered, oh my goodness, there's a white. Oh, and the white changed our lives because we now didn't have to have that enriched white flour that was not very good for us anyway. So he's mixing the kamut with our salt.
Okay.
Okay, that's so funny. That's okay. So anyway, the kamut has proven now to be, it's all I've eaten. We have eaten.
You have a couple of questions, Mom, really fast.
For years and years.
Go back up.
And it has changed our nutritional value along with our French sea salt that is like a marriage.
Okay, somebody said that's interesting about your experience with spelt. They like it over there. They like it at her house.
Yeah, that's good. Everybody likes different grains. That was my experience. Doing it with my French baguettes, my regular whole wheat recipe.
It just wasn't good in everything. No way.
It wasn't as good in everything.
Listen, I would never wanted to get on the train of I liked making whole wheat bread. That was something I really did enjoy. But everything else I was like, no, I'm not going to go that healthy. That was just for me. Until this kamut, this is not something that is like, this has been a big change and my stuff doesn't taste the same. That's the reason that I love it. It's better for you. Everything tastes better. Like, not kidding. The cakes, the cookies, the bread, the pizza, everything is so much better. And you're like, how is that possible when something is so healthy for you?
You'll have to try it.
So
give it a try.
That's what's amazing is that it's not only just amazing for bread, it's amazing in your cookies and everything. Okay, do you still eat pasta and tortillas, etc. when you're trying to lose weight?
Pasta once a week, maybe.
Well, you're eating pasta once a week anyway.
You're eating pasta once a week anyway. But you can cut down on pasta. Flour tortillas I wouldn't eat. I would stick to corn because corn are better for you anyway, unless you're making your homemade flour tortillas with kamut or something. So I would stick with corn.
Where did you get this big bowl?
So this is the bowl that I got when I was in Mexico. It's about 150 years old, and I bought it just to put my ancient grain in. I keep it there in my kitchen, and I love it. I needed a bowl for my ancient grain to be kept in so that when I did demonstrations or just there at my home, when everybody came to the house, the kids like to actually play in it. I have to change it every once in a while. And of course, we don't eat this one because we're touching it. And
Okay,
too many
what is
people
your
are
favorite
feeling it.
yeast? It is Red Star. Red Star yeast is our favorite. Oh, yeah, somebody said. You've mentioned you have a hot chocolate and kamut toast for breakfast and a sandwich for lunch. If you're serving a baguette or rolls for dinner, do you plan a different lunch breakfast ahead of time?
Yes.
That's a good
absolutely,
question.
Absolutely. If I know I'm making French baguettes for dinner, if I know I'm making my homemade rolls or my Italian bread, then I'm not going to have a sandwich for lunch or I'm not having bread in the morning.
That's why meal
Maybe I'm
planning is
having
important.
oatmeal. Maybe I'm having oatmeal in the morning without toast. For lunch, maybe I'm having some soup. Maybe I'm having a salad. Maybe I'm having cheese and crackers. But yes, that is what we do, and that's what I've been doing for over 40 years.
Is there a whole wheat kamut? Yes.
Yes.
So we sell the grain as well, but it's a whole wheat.
This is
a fabulous bread.
This is
I
the
think
grain.
that's all you can do.
Yes, this is the whole grain, which you can make into whole wheat kamut, okay? Or you can buy the white, which we use for everything else. And another thing, when we started our Instagram, we had no idea that we were going to be showing our products that we used.
No.
But everybody wanted to know exactly what we used, and we were using our flour one day, and somebody said, that flour looks different, what is it? And so we said it was kamut. It was all-purpose white kamut at that time. And then we began telling you about how we also use the whole grain and make that into bread. So those things were just going to be mentioned, but we didn't know that about the reaction we would get.
Yeah.
About our salt as well. And so the salt comes from France, from the Guérin salt farms, which is completely natural, and we feel like it's a marriage, along with extra virgin good olive oil. These are our 3 most important ingredients that we use all day, every day. And those should be your 3 most important ingredients that you're cooking and consuming. So many
Okay,
people,
really fast. What do you do with kids and teens that will not eat veggies you're putting 2 on the table every night?
Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it, because there are those vegetables. A couple of them might be, for me, when I was a kid, I wasn't really into Brussels sprouts, or I did learn to love artichokes because after watching Mom dip it in a little bit of mayonnaise or butter, looked so good, I finally tried that. Kids will remember what their parents were eating down the road, and you can ask anybody that question.
You're not going to always win and get them to love
Right.
every single thing. She has some sons that are a little
They're
picky sometimes,
not,
you know.
Some of them are still not eating broccoli. They're all trying it and not maybe loving it, but they're all...
All you
many
can do
of-
is try to make it as yummy as you can and keep trying to push it on them. Sometimes I heard a girl say that if you chop it so fine in what you're putting it in, I don't know, but that's not serving it as a side.
No, I always had either corn or green beans or peas on the table because those were the 3 that everyone loved. And then I would add, or carrots as well. You can bake carrots, you can steam them, you can boil them, you can put them on the table raw. I'm never without carrots. Carrots is probably number 1. And then green beans and corn for the 4 that are the most likely. And then add your asparagus and broccoli and Brussels sprouts and avocados doesn't count in there. Serve avocados on the side as much as you possibly can. But don't ever stop serving the vegetables. Just don't put that many on the table so you waste the food.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why frozen vegetables are good because you can pour as many as you need out of the bag. It's a big savings.
Okay, my kids are crazy at dinner time, super loud, talk over each other, and don't sit still. Any tips?
That's where you need to get our books out and look at our conversation starters. Let's see, a conversation starter that I'm looking at right now. Let me just choose one. Here's the first conversation starter I'm coming to. Mom's really tired tonight and coming down with a bad cold. Let's not let her do any cleanup tonight. And which one of you will help? Oh, and which one of you will help cook dinner tomorrow? So that's on page 100.
I think that's me
in
today.
the first book. So I think that could relate with just about anybody today. So there's a good conversation starter. When your kids just won't sit still, there's nothing more annoying than that. Get our books out. Look at our conversation starters. They're amazing to get your kids to sit down and really think about a question that you don't have to think about.
And you know what?
Just open our book.
The thing that gets my kids to calm down a little bit, obviously not at this age. Look at him. He's got craziness. He's all over the place. But the other children, if you make them and give them a voice, like if you go around the dinner table, that's where my kids love it. Because they want to talk about their day.
Yeah.
So that always calms them down. My 4-year-old, my 6-year-old, and my 8-year-old, they all sit there and they'll take turns because they want to talk about their day, and it's really cute. They want to explain to the other sibling, I did this today, and I went with mom, and I did this, and that actually makes it calm. I don't know. You got to make them a part of it. That's the thing with kids, is that they feel like they're helping with the dinner, setting the table,
yeah.
Being involved, having a voice. They'll for the most part want to listen
and help clean up. And getting up and down, we need to say we don't need to get up from the table until we're finished and until we're basically all finished, because the conversation at the table can go on long after your food is finished. It did for us. Day after day after day.
Bring dessert after.
Yes, and make sure that dessert is a part of your life. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't have
the sun's totally
dessert
coming in now.
In portion control. You know, it's fun when you make a cobbler and you can get your little ramekins and just put a couple of spoonfuls for cobbler. Cut your cake smaller. Cut your pies smaller. Have a cookie. There's so many desserts to offer. Have fruit for dessert. Have fruit and serve it in little bowls like this that maybe you've bottled yourself, or even fresh fruit or canned fruit that you can offer in little ramekins. But include dessert. I say to cook a planned dessert once a week, and then make cookies or whatever in between, because you need to teach your kids how to eat dessert. If you don't, when they leave the house,
well,
they
the
will
other
start
problem with
binging.
teaching your kids about always being on a diet and never eating the same food as your kids, what is that teaching them? I feel like that's making them afraid of food. They'll then be like, well, I can't eat normal because I've got to eat the diet food, or I've got to do this. And I'm like, I'm not saying that I don't agree with what anybody says out there. I think a lot of people have a lot of great reasons, and
we can learn from
whatever.
a lot of people.
We learn from
Every
a ton
day.
of people. It's not like we're the ones that know everything. But what I'm trying to say is it's like, it's just not a lifestyle that's going to keep you going forever to always eat a certain way and to tweak a recipe every way. It's kind of exhausting. Like, it's way more work for me to think about, okay, I gotta weigh this, and then I gotta measure out how much sauce I'm putting on, and then I've gotta do this, and then I'm gonna eat this, and then I'm gonna feed my kids this. And it's like, that is so much work. I can't even.
How many carbs did I eat today?
I can't even wrap my head around it.
I promise you, you can eat bread in portion control, because
It is not just bread. We literally eat
it's carbs.
it all.
All
carbs, the sugar.
You can eat all carbs in portion control. I had someone that talked to us just recently who hadn't had bread in years and years and years. They forgot how to chew it.
Mom, you've had that now like 3 times in the last month.
Well,
a lot of people have been saying that.
It's so often, and they forgot. Oh my goodness, you really need to chew bread. It felt so good to them. There's so many diets that say you can't have this, you can't have that.
The only thing is that we say is honestly, you've got to just try to stay active. It's like, don't make, instead of making yourself so crazy, is try to stay active, go walking, be crazy with this, cleaning your house, with the cooking. You're going to get exercise and you can enjoy all things. We're not saying be a couch potato.
No, we're big time walkers. We're big time doers, walkers. We're active. And that's all
we could
part
walk
of it.
10 miles a day.
Yes, that's all part of it.
Okay.
And so you need to stay active. And if you need to go to the gym, go to the gym.
Yeah,
for you.
we're not
and
saying
if you
any
have
of
the
that.
time,
No, yeah.
If you have the time to go to the gym, go, because it might be your stress reliever. It might be exactly what you need. So go.
Do you want to get out of this, or are you fine?
It's fine. So go to the gym, definitely. Go for a walk. Schedule your walks during the day. Go with a friend, but definitely get your exercise.
Yeah,
So
be active. It is important to be active. So it's not like, oh, eat whatever you want, within reason. But yes, try to be active. She's got a lot of energy. I try to have a lot of energy. But yes, everybody's like, how is so much energy in this?
But just know it's the
trying.
variety of food. It's the variety of food that sets your set point.
Yeah.
I know that from all of these years. It's the variety of food and portion control, and that's all it is. You can love life, enjoying food, and planning your meals.
Okay.
So are there any more questions?
What will fit into a flat rate box? Okay, what should fit in a flat rate box is 2 5-pound bags of flour. You can fit cookbooks, and you can fit a salt. That's what should fit in the flat rate box, okay? But what was I gonna say? The shipping, I know we keep saying this, but it's gonna be changing by the end of the month. But I don't know. I don't know how much it's gonna affect the 5-pound bag, to be honest. I have a lot of people that come for Kamut every day, and they're a little discouraged on the shipping price. But one girl yesterday said, I just can't believe how much it is to ship anything. And I said, exactly. Yeah. She went over the holidays, she was shipping something, and it cost her a bloody fortune to send it. And she was like, I don't even know what I was saying. It wasn't even heavy. Flour is heavy. And so we're trying to sell it and ship it for the best price out there. Promise.
Everybody,
we're trying very hard.
All Instagrammers and bloggers know how much it is. Bowl full of lemons. We love her to death. She's one of our biggest fannies, and we shipped her something, and we were in sticker shock.
Shock for real.
It is amazing. As you all, it is so expensive, as you all well know.
I can't read these.
And so that's why we're trying to have so many pickups, and we'll continue to have more pickups for you around our state, and hopefully even branch out into other states.
Yeah, we actually have a plan of pickups in some other states.
So that will be fun.
So that will be good.
So we'll see. But we appreciate.
I can't read the sun. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It comes blaring in. Okay. When a fork is the only utensil, does it still go on the left or does it go on the right? Because most people are right-handed.
Goes on the left.
I can't wait to order a 25 bag. That's so nice. Okay, how can we pick up Kamut if we are local? So we have a Highland, a Woodland, or a Midway location. And if you just message us, DM us, that's what a direct message means, DM. Cheese? Okay. I did not buy that, by the way. What was I going to say? That was given to me.
Yeah.
What was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
So you can DM us. You can
DM us and you can get the info to go and pick up at those locations. I just don't want to give it out loud. But yes, you can come pick up from us.
So what we're doing is we're
flour,
going,
salt, books, all of it. Yes.
What we're going to do this year is we're going off what you guys want. So we're giving you a challenge today of start cooking for your family 3 nights a week if you haven't done so.
She has a perfect question.
We'll
Hold on.
keep you going. Okay.
How long? Okay, I don't know if you answered this, but how long do you spend meal planning, including lunches and breakfasts?
Okay, I don't.
That's a great question.
I don't plan breakfast and lunch other than I just sort of wing breakfast and lunch. It's dinner that I plan. I just know that when I go grocery shopping, I have plenty of eggs. When I was raising my children, I did pancakes one day, I did eggs one day, I did waffles one day, I did toast with egg on it one day, I did peanut butter toast, I did a million different things. Those were not really planned. Lunches were not really planned other than peanut butter and jelly. When we got more sophisticated, we got some turkey. But how much time do I spend making a meal? Oh, money? Or how much time do I spend making a meal plan? You can do it in 10 minutes when you get good at it. But how much money depends on your budget and depends on how many people are in your family. Lizi right now is spending about $450 a month, didn't you say, for a family of 6? Isn't that realistic?
Yeah, but that's not always including when I have to go to Costco and get like essentials or,
that's eating
other
good
stuff.
But that's eating super good.
No, that's really good, but that's meal planning for my food.
Yeah.
That's not sometimes
But does
all
that
the
include
other
your
stuff.
breakfast and lunch?
Sure, because
Yeah.
I'm making kamut, so that's like nothing to make. I make my own bread every single day. I can't eat or buy any other bread now, and my kids can't either. And the only bread that they used to love was Grandma Sycamore's. And now they only want the kamut bread. They don't even want to take lunch if they don't have it. So last night, I've got a sick child, and I still made kamut bread last night because I ran out and knew my kids needed it for today. So anyways,
Yeah.
it just depends. And honestly, depending on your budget, everybody's budget is very, very, very different. So for you, if you feel like that you need to spend, you need to create the budget for you. You need to say, okay, this is how much money I have. I need to figure out. You will. And you will be eating good, and you will figure out the exact recipes that you can make on your budget.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you have to do.
What we have in our notes is, for instance, next week we're going to be talking about, say you had a chicken, all the meals, say you roasted a chicken, all the meals that you can make
out of the chicken.
Make from roasting that chicken. That, for instance, if you're on a super tight budget, will save you a fortune. So we're going to show you that
When
next
will the
week.
next, oh yeah, so we have a meal, okay, sorry, Mom.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
No.
we're going to do that next week, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so what was I saying? Okay, we have a free meal plan at thefoodnanny.com. You go under recipes and it's under meal planning, and we have a free meal plan. Alicia loves the kamut and she loves coming to
Alicia,
Woodland.
oh my goodness.
She's being
Alicia
so nice.
is
I'm sorry we're
amazing.
trying to get to everybody's comments.
Alicia is one that has not had bread or could not eat bread. For how long, Alicia? She was one of the ones that came to our home. Maybe she'll answer us.
And she did. Okay, what is the difference between kamut? What is the difference?
So kamut is an ancient grain. It is organic. It's pure strain. It has never been modified. And it is the most delicious whole grain, all-purpose, whole grain and all-purpose white flour you will ever put in your mouth. It is amazing. It's been around for 25 years. We've just not known about it. They've been growing it and developing it in the Dakotas, in Montana, in Idaho. They grow it in other parts of the world as well. But 70% of everything that is grown in the Kamut co-op is shipped to Italy because they're using it in their pasta, in their breads, and in their pizza because they have so many gluten-free
And let's tell you
people
one
as
last
well.
and let's tell you one last thing really fast. We never thought we were going to be selling our products like we've already told you, but we never then thought the explosion would be with gluten-free, with gluten intolerant. Everybody's eating it. We have a timer. We've been going that long. Alicia hasn't had bread in a year, and
Alicia-
now she's eating bread.
Alicia, you haven't had bread in a year, and what is your status? Are you gluten-free, or what are you?
We have a countdown. We talked too long.
Okay.
We could go all
Okay.
day. Everybody, the kamut is the best. Just try it. That's amazing. Baking with Blondie, that was a fabulous trick, Mom. Look at this really fast. Look what she said. I remember which side to use the utensils. Go on how many letters it has. Fork is on the left. Both have 4. Knife and spoon, right, 5 letters. That is funny.
Love it.
She said a year. Gluten intolerant, basically.
Gluten intolerant. She called me. She said, I'm going to call you as soon as I eat. She had no pain.
We have a
It was
timer.
unbelievable. Okay, we have to go.
We love
Everybody
you. We're going to announce our winner for this week right after this live.
And we'll get cooking next week. Make your pizza
She can
tonight.
eat only Kamut. Absolutely no problem. This is
Oh,
amazing.
wow.
We love you guys. Have the best day.
The best day. See you next week. We'll be cooking. Make your pizza tonight.